2025年6月12号，大兴国际机场出国安检。
This is the Daxing International Airport. On June 12th, the international security check area was nearly empty. Look at all these people. Look at the international departure hall at Daxing Airport. There's no one here. How is it that such a big airport has so few people now? Look, even the check-in desk has no staff.
上海虹桥机场，哟，大家看看，这么多人呢。
This is Shanghai Hongqiao Airport. Look at all these people. Are there people here? Look at this crowd. I got up at 9 in the morning. This is the situation at Hongqiao Airport. Look at the baggage claim area. There are so many people. Has the economy really improved? Is the economy recovering?
Another video shows Shanghai Pudong Airport, which is eerily empty. The airport appears deserted, with the only person visible being the one filming. There's hardly anyone else, and no staff in sight. Netizens comment on how terrifying it is to see Pudong, such a large airport, so empty, and the economy seemingly in decline. In another video, a woman at a Beijing airport expresses fear. It's 8 p.m. and the airport is empty.
我靠，我现在有点害怕呀。 这机场怎么没有人？
I'm a little scared now. Why is there no one at the airport? I just came down here, and they said the exit is down there. Look, this is the exit. There's only a downward escalator, and I came up, but there's no one up here either. Oh, there's no one. I'm a little scared now. Where should I go? These are some of China's top airports, and even those in major cities are eerily quiet now. On June 9th, a well-known Shanghai influencer, Master May, who has hundreds of thousands of followers, traveled with his family from Pudong Airport to South Korea. After entering the airport, he filmed the international satellite terminal and duty-free stores. He commented that at 10 a.m., the international departure hall at Pudong was nearly empty, and the duty-free shops along the way were almost deserted, with some of them even closed.
这就是国际出发的大厅啊，就这样的。
This is an international departure hall. Just like this. It's empty. Not many people. The duty-free shops on the side are already closed. This is how it looks now. This is what the satellite terminal looks like. There are duty-free shops here, international ones, but there's nobody here.
He described looking around, the entire satellite terminal was entirely empty. The Maotai liquor in the duty-free shop is priced at 3,500 yuan. He said now Maotai has dropped below the issue price, and the market price is 2,000 yuan or less. How could the duty-free shop sell it for 3,500 yuan? In the footage, the satellite terminal in the Pudong International Flight Area was massive, and both the upper and lower floors seemed spacious and empty. Master May continued walking to the Starbucks shop and the cosmetics duty-free shop, where he found the store nearly empty. The International, Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan Inquiry Center in the middle of the hall were also deserted. He further observed that the air conditioning in this area was noticeably insufficient, and the heat made it worse. He speculated that the airport might have turned off the air conditioning to save money. This phenomenon left him puzzled. Why were the departure gates for international flights arranged so far away in the satellite terminal? Could it be that if the satellite terminal is left unused for too long, it will become abandoned? Some equipment, like the elevator, is left unused, and if the elevator isn't used, it will be discarded. His family's tickets provided access to the VIP lounge. When they arrived there, he found that apart from his family, only 3 other small groups of travelers were present. Besides Mr. May, some other netizens also observed similar situations at airports like Shanghai Hongqiao and Beijing Daxing. In fact, many airports across China, both international and domestic flights, now see fewer passengers. Major international airports in cities like Xi'an, Dalian, and others have seen sparse passengers, and the scene as quiet as a ghost town. On March 17th this year, a blogger described the peak passenger flow period at Pudong around 7 p.m., where international flights were sparse, and foreign passengers were very few. What used to take over an hour for customs clearance now takes just half an hour. He even observed that from the airport to the city, passengers started boarding the subway at Zhangjiang High-Tech Park Station, but there were still plenty of empty seats when they reached Lujiazhui, which he found hard to believe. A netizen posted a video revealing that Hainan Meilan Airport and Xinjiang Korla Airport were also sparsely populated.
兄弟们，我刚才来美兰机场接个朋友。
Hi bro, I was just picking up a friend at Haikou Meilan Airport. When I walked into the terminal, I saw there were so few people, almost nobody. I thought I went to the wrong place, but then I checked. And it was indeed T2 terminal, domestic arrivals, no mistake. Then I went for a walk around, and I saw how come there are so few people at Milan Airport now. It should be crowded at this time of the season, but now there's hardly anyone, and no outsiders coming.
The video shows that the departure hall at Korla Airport is small, but the number of passengers is low, with most of the seats empty. The videographer plays a melancholic song to express their emotions. China's three major state-owned airlines, Air China, China Eastern Airlines, and China Southern Airlines, released their financial reports for the first quarter of 2024 in April, showing that the three companies not only failed to return to profitability, but their overall losses had widened compared to the same period last year. Among the three major airlines, China Airlines reported a Q1 2024 revenue of 40 billion yuan, a decrease of 0.1% year-on-year, with a net loss of 2 billion yuan, an increase of 22% compared to last year. China Southern Airlines reported a revenue of 43.4 billion yuan, down 2.7%. Its net loss was around 750 million yuan, down from the same period last year. China Eastern Airlines reported a revenue of 33.4 billion yuan, a 0.7% increase year-on-year, but its net loss was 1 billion yuan, larger than last year's loss of 800 million yuan. The report mentions that due to economic pressures domestically and the suppression of demand from external political tensions, China's international air capacity is still about 20% lower compared to 2019. The aviation industry is also concerned that the reciprocal tariff policy under President Trump could suppress global economic growth, which could in turn suppress demand for air passenger and cargo services. A recent report from Caijing also noted that the aviation industry is facing intensifying competition, insufficient demand from business and government sectors, and the impact of currency fluctuations. This increasing market competition, changes in passenger structures, and declining ticket prices all reflect in the financial reports. In recent years, due to China's economic decline, domestic consumption has generally downgraded, with significant reductions in travel and transportation expenses. At the same time, international tourists to China have also decreased significantly, leading to a drop in the number of passengers on international flights. Since 2024, a new round of flight suspensions has emerged on China's international routes, with airlines like Virgin Atlantic, Royal Brunei Airlines, Qantas Airways, Polish Airlines, and Scandinavian Airlines announcing the suspension or indefinite cancellation of routes to China. Now let's take a look at the specific situation of China Southern Airlines. Public data shows that China Southern Airlines has the most developed domestic route network and the largest passenger volume. The company's main businesses include passenger transport and related services, freight, and mail. However, China Southern Airlines has been deeply entrenched in losses for 5 years. An article from Sina Corporation's Security Star stated that even after the pandemic, China Southern Airlines has not been able to escape from the loss trap. In 2024, the airline posted a net loss of 1.7 billion yuan, an improvement of 2.5 billion yuan compared to last year. From 2020 to 2024, its cumulative net loss amounted to over 60 billion yuan. Regarding the reasons for the loss, China Southern Airlines stated that, while the civil aviation industry's recovery accelerated in 2024, the slow recovery of the international market, significant increases in aircraft material prices, and the depreciation of the yuan all had a huge impact on the company's operations. In the first half of 2024, passenger transport and related services accounted for a massive 87% of the total revenue. During the pandemic, this segment was significantly impacted. While business revenue has returned to pre-pandemic levels, profitability has not increased accordingly. In 2019 and 2023, China Southern Airlines passenger transport segment achieved revenues of just over 138 billion yuan, with little growth. However, the gross profit margin of this segment has significantly declined, from 6.4% in 2021 to 3.7% in the first half of 2024. Changes in revenue and cost indicators more directly reveal the reason for the decline in the gross profit margin of the passenger business. In 2019 and the first 3 quarters of 2024, China Southern Airlines revenue per passenger kilometer remained at 0.5 yuan, with no growth. In terms of costs, the cost per available ton kilometer for its main business increased by 7.6%, from 2.9 yuan to 3.1 yuan in the same period. In the context of 5 consecutive years of losses, China Southern Airlines still continues to invest a significant amount of funds for business expansion. By the end of the first 3 quarters of 2024, the company's debt-to-asset ratio had reached 82.4%. Due to long-term losses, the net asset size of China Southern Airlines has continued to shrink. From 2020 to 2023, the company's net assets decreased from 85 billion yuan to 52 billion yuan, a reduction reduction of 39%. Meanwhile, the company's debt grew from 241 billion yuan to 257 billion yuan, an increase of 6.6%. Industry insiders point out that as domestic airline passenger structures and travel demands change, the challenges faced by airlines have intensified. Airlines not only need to enhance their marketing capabilities, but also need to improve cost control capabilities. If China's Southern Airlines cannot make breakthroughs in debt management, compliance with listing regulations, and business structure optimization in the short term, it may face even more severe challenges in the future. Earlier, we discussed the situation of China's three major state-owned airlines, but now let's take a look at the condition of other airports in China. On February 9th, Beijing Capital Airport announced that it would report a pre-tax net loss of about 1.35 billion to 1.65 billion yuan for 2024. The capital airport has recorded losses for the fifth consecutive year, with a cumulative loss over 5 years expected to exceed 10 billion yuan. In 2020, the loss was 2 billion yuan. In 2021, it was 2.1 billion yuan. In 2022, it was 3.5 billion yuan. And in 2023, it was 1.7 billion yuan. Before the 5 consecutive years of losses, in 2019, Beijing Capital Airport's main business revenue was 10.8 billion yuan, and net profit was 2.4 billion yuan, making it the second largest airport in China, just behind Shanghai Airport. Public information shows that Beijing Capital International Airport Company is a large state-owned enterprise controlled by Capital Airports Holding Company and is listed in Hong Kong. At another Beijing airport, Beijing Daxing Airport, which is now empty, one blogger mentioned that the 80 billion yuan investment has gone down the drain. 5 years ago, Beijing Daxing International Airport officially began operations. This ultra-large airport, built with 80 billion yuan in investment, was tasked with easing the pressure on Beijing Capital International Airport. However, the reality is that Beijing Daxing Airport is now deserted and has essentially become a free overnight area for migrants. Science Life Lab reported that other airports' waiting halls only have a row of cold, empty seats, but Daxing Airport has reclining chairs, massage chairs, and sofas that can be turned into single beds. The airport's rest area is like a free bathing center. You can randomly find a place to sleep, and free water is available. It's like a utopia for the people who drift through Beijing, and anyone can have a quiet resting space here without being disturbed. Many people coming to Beijing for civil service exams or postgraduate entrance exams come to Daxing Airport to save on accommodation. People often arrive in Beijing 1 or 2 days before the exam, stay at the airport, and then leave for the exam on the day of the test. Shanghai Airport, which had a market value of 170 billion yuan, has now fallen from grace. According to an article in Sina Corporation, in August 2019, Shanghai Airport's market value once earned 170 billion yuan, with its stock price doubling in 1 year. However, the company then entered a prolonged period of decline, with the largest retreat surpassing 60%. Even the bull market initiated in September 2024 could not save the company's stock price. Now, Shanghai Airport's total market value is just over 80 billion, and its performance is unlikely to replicate its past success. This once high-profit Shanghai Airport has entered the thin profit era. The Shanghai Airport had a net profit of 5 billion yuan in 2019. However, it has been continuously losing money since then, with losses of 1.3 billion yuan in 2020, 1.7 billion yuan in 2021, and 3 billion yuan in 2022. Despite the end of the pandemic, Shanghai Airport's situation remains far from optimistic. In fact, its profitability has been significantly reduced. From 2017 to 2019, Shanghai Airport maintained a gross profit margin of around 50%. However, by the first 3 quarters of 2023 and 2024, the gross profit margin had fallen to 16.5% and 22.6% respectively. The high gross profit has disappeared. At the same time, Shanghai Airport's landlord business is struggling. In the past, Shanghai Airport had a lucrative source of income, duty-free contract revenue, which was basically rent collected from duty-free shops. In 2019, the airport had a passenger volume of 76 million, largely consisting of high-net-worth individuals and middle-class passengers. In September 2018, Shanghai Airport signed a contract with China Duty Free Group subsidiary, Sunrise Duty Free Shanghai. The minimum sales commission reached a total of 41 billion yuan over 7 years, from 2019 to 2025. In 2019, Shanghai Airport earned 5.2 billion yuan in rent from China Duty Free. At the time, China Duty Free's profit was only 4.6 billion yuan, which means China Duty Free was practically working for Shanghai Airport. However, in early 2021, due to to a sharp decline in international passenger flow and a decrease in bargaining power, Shanghai Airport signed an additional agreement with China Duty Free Group subsidiary, Sunrise Shanghai. The rent model changed from guarantee minimum with no upper limit to a dynamic adjustment based on passenger flow. By December 2023, Shanghai Airport signed another agreement with China Duty Free, drastically reducing the guaranteed rent, with the commission rate dropping from 42.5% to between 18 and 36%. The duty-free business has been in decline. China's duty-free industry mainly includes offshore duty-free, like in Hainan, and airport duty-free. Offshore duty-free is in a slump. According to Haikou Customs data, in 2024, Haikou Customs regulated 30.9 billion yuan of duty-free shopping, which represents a nearly 30% decrease compared to the same period in 2023. Airport duty-free is also under pressure. According to a UBS report, in 2024, Shanghai Airport's international and regional passenger volume increased by 94% year-on-year, but sales increased only by 32%. UBS estimates that the per capita duty-free sales decreased by 32% year-on-year, and the overall duty-free sales at Shanghai Airport may only return to less than 50% of the 2019 levels. Local airports such as Sichuan Airport Group have also suffered massive losses, exceeding 10 billion yuan over the past 4 years. Sichuan Airport Group oversees Chengdu Shuangliu International Airport, Chengdu Tianfu International Airport, and other regional airports. According to the Civil Aviation Wing, Sichuan is undoubtedly the largest aviation province in central and western China. The province has 17 airports, ranking third in the country. In 2024, Sichuan's passenger throughput reached 99.8 million, ranking fourth in the country. However, Sichuan Airport Group has continued to suffer losses. In 2024, the company reported a net loss of 2.1 billion yuan, which is a decrease of 34 million yuan compared to the previous year. In 2021, the net loss was 2.3 billion yuan. In 2022, it was 4.2 billion. And in 2023, it was 2.1 billion, a cumulative net loss of 10.7 billion yuan over 4 years. The financial costs for Sichuan Airport Group exceed 700 million yuan annually. Chengdu Tianfu International Airport, located in Jianyang City, Sichuan Province, is a major international air hub with a total investment of about 56.2 billion yuan for Phase 1. With Shuangliu Airport also undergoing renovations, passenger traffic has been diverted. Before 2020, Sichuan Airport Group was consistently profitable. From 2017 to 2019, it made a net profit of over 1.2 billion yuan in 3 years. Unfortunately, those prosperous times are now in the past, and now the company is faced with losses. In fact, it's not just Sichuan Airport, but many other airports and airlines in China are facing similar issues. Amid China's overall economic downturn, fewer and fewer people are flying now.